the other show you were watching, the Next Door Neighbor's Dog's Puppy or whatever it's called.
Oh god, the longest title in the history of titles. The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window is the full name of the show. It's a Netflix show starring Kristen Bell, which is probably the only reason I watched it. But when I watched it...
So, were you a Veronica Mars guy?
No, but I liked Frozen and I liked The Good Place, so...
Oh, you might like Veronica Mars if you went back to it.
I've watched a season and a half of it. I thought it was decent, but it wasn't really my thing.
I like it, and unlike other kind of like kooky shows with a female lead at the time, as far as I know, the creator of that show hasn't utterly disgraced himself yet, so it's still problematic, like problematic free reviewing. Because that was a C-Dub show, wasn't it? Yes. Or a WB, whatever the equivalent of was back then. Because Smallville was my WB show, so. Yeah, it was for a while. It was like Veronica Mars, Smallville, and Supernatural were the only three shows on that network. Yeah. And incredibly, Supernatural only finished like a year ago. That and Bones were the two shows that are just they're still on the air. Yeah.
Shout out for getting Sarah Marshall as well. Kristen Bell's great in that.
Yeah. But yeah, I watched this on Netflix and I was so pleasantly pleasant surprise, that's the word I'm looking for, that the every episode is shorter than 30 minutes. All of them. Oh. For a Netflix show. I'm like, yes. In fact, one of them is 22 minutes, including credits. So it's like 18. It's like... Oh, that's what I'd like to hear. The whole thing is probably 3.5 hours long, 8 episodes. And I was like, I watched it in one sitting after Dynamite on Wednesday night. I started watching it. I was like, listen, I might as well finish it. So I sat there. It's like a dark comedy crime thriller. She witnesses a murder across the street from a guy and his daughter, whose wife died in mysterious circumstances, and then she witnesses another murder and she thinks he's a murderer, and then away we go. And is Kristen Bell the girl in the window or the woman in the house? She's both. Ooh.
And neither.
And could be neither. You're right. She could be neither. She could be both. Oh, I wasn't expecting an answer that was outside of one or the other. Because like the big thing is that her daughter died as well, so she's on like psychotropic drugs, so there's an unreliable narrator, are you seeing what's real or not element to this as well, for the most part. And I think my biggest problem with it is it plays it too straight for 7 episodes, but I think it does that by design so it can play it very not straight for the finale. And I think it goes to Wacky Town. Yeah, it just goes to full Wacky Town at the end. And like, obviously the whole thing is like, it's a murder mystery, so they reveal who done it. And I fist pumped when they revealed who done it. So I was like, oh yes, this show's not boring. Hell yeah. Cool. I like to hear like 1, short show, 2, interesting lead actor, and 3, not a disappointing ending. You rarely get that holy trinity. Yeah, and especially for Netflix shows, which I think as a general rule tend to burn bright and fizzle out. This one burns pretty slowly, but delivers in the end. Without spoiling it, does it seem like there will be further seasons of it, or is it just a self-contained mini-series is the intention? They do for sure set up a season 2, whether or not it happens, Netflix, but they certainly seem to have the intention of doing another.